I finally did it. I got a Colleen Hoover book. The expectations for this one are high. I am in the Panera parking lot. The plan is homework. The plan is being productive. The plan is starting Verity. I'm really excited about this. Before I get into it, right off the bat, these don't really matter, but I do appreciate them. The texture of this book, which I did mention when I bought it, lovely. It's all like ASMR. Like, it's like, I need to figure out what material or like whatever it's called, but it's like the soft books, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I really like that. Also, you probably don't know this about me, but you will. I cannot see for the life of me. So I was so happy when I opened it up to page 1 and I saw how big the font is on this. Like, I genuinely, like, it's honestly kind of ridiculous how much I appreciate this. Like, that's a nice font. And the gaps between lines are also large enough to where things don't run together. And I just, thank you, Colleen. Thank you who published this. But anyways, like I said, I'm about to start this. I'm probably gonna have some lunch before class, do the whole thing. And I genuinely don't know what this is about. I know that it centers around a character that happens to be an author. I know that it's supposed to be a thriller type of romance, but that's it. So let's go ahead and read the back just before I dive into this today. So Lowen is a struggling writer and Verity is a successful writer. And then there's Jeremy, who's Verity's husband, and he hires Lowen to help Verity finish her series that she's writing. It ends up being an autobiography, and Verity never intended anyone to read it. Spicy. Okay, I'm interested. Okay, Colleen. Okay, genuinely, I'm already shook by the first page. Like, I really had to reread it because I was like, hold on. So my roommate might be sick. So I'm quarantining until I get my results back, which means it's a binge read day. Also, while I was at Panera, I got through maybe 30 pages. Definitely hooked already. Very intrigued. All right, I'm in my pajamas and I'm ready to go. Okay, so it just explained why Verity isn't able to complete her book series, but it was such like a cut and dry answer that there has to be something else to it. I'm sensing deception, babes. Also, I'm sensing some tension. Just because I know this book is supposed to be a thriller, everything that's happening at the beginning is just very sussy boy. And just like right off the bat, even though he's presenting so many like vulnerable and nice qualities, I don't trust the husband. Let's go. So now it's kind of changing up like how the chapters are formatted. So before it was just like numbered, you know, like any other chapter. But now it's starting to do something different. So now she's found this like autobiography by Verity. And so it looks like it's going back and forth between like Verity's chapters of her autobiography and then back to like the regular chapters, if that makes sense. So it's a rainy day. The vibes are cozy. I think I'm gonna finish it today. Oh my gosh. I'm on page 218. I'm not gonna say what happens, but if you know, you know. I can't. I finished it last night. This book genuinely took me probably 3 days to finish. Let me tell you, when I was finishing it yesterday, first of all, I read like 150 pages of it yesterday, which basically I finished like the whole second half of it. The last little chunk of chapters really had me. So this was rightfully named a romantic thriller. There were some like little nitpicky things about it that I didn't like, and we'll get into those in a second. But honestly, Miss Colleen, you did good. Which now that I've read this one, which is more my speed for sure than her typical like romances, it definitely makes me want to like try out one of her typical books. Just because I know for the most part I like her writing style. So this one for me is sitting at like a 4.5 out of 5. The only reason I don't give it a full 5 stars, I will tell you. Also, do you like my little Ariana Grande ponytail? Thought I'd try it out. So one thing I did like is that just kind of like sprinkled every once in a while throughout the book, it does make you doubt just about every single character that's in here. Which I feel like is really important for a thriller because it always keeps you on your toes and you don't know who you can trust. So she did a really good job of that, and it was also done really well to where it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't like, oh, I think this person is the bad guy this chapter, and then I think this person is the bad guy in this chapter. It was just very subtly every once in a while. It would have like some little comment that would make me doubt the main character sometimes. And also like the husband, and then of course Verity herself. So that was done really well, I think. However, what I don't think was done very well was their connection. The romance part of this. And I liked how it was described internally. But like the actual interactions that are described, it's not like super compelling as far as the chemistry, especially the way that the book ends. I'm like, are you sure you guys like each other that much? Like, okay. And then the only other thing that kind of bothered me is I was like, is this believable? Like, is this, like, by the time that it ends, would a person react that harshly after being, and I can't give it away. I just feel like there were some very hasty encounters that could have been solved with like a simple conversation, or could have been proven through something simple. So, I mean, you know, besides that though, like I said, I was really like going through this book. Like, I needed to know how it ended. And I did really like the ending. It was very like, ooh, you know? Like, I don't have a word for it, but it was just like, oh. So yeah, my first Colleen Hoover read, it did not do me wrong. Also, I wrote this down because I was so shocked by Lowen at the end of, what was it? I think it's chapter 20. Okay, yeah. The end of chapter 20? I was like, girl, let's like rethink some things. Maybe just pause for a second, I don't know. But yeah, that one really surprised me. Also, I think the end of chapter 21, like when I got to this like part of the book, it was over. I read it so fast. And it's so odd because by the time I finished this book, I still didn't really know how I felt about all of the characters. Like, I don't know if I particularly like any of them, or if I really, really like a couple of them, or if I should, I don't know. But I did really like how this was written. And I feel like a lot of times when books do the whole POV thing where it's like one person's point of view and then another person's point of view, I tend to do that thing where you're like, I want to skim through this one because I want to know what happens in the other one. But this book honestly didn't do that at all. I was so interested in each chapter, and every time it left it on a cliffhanger, the next chapter was equally as important and like an attention grabbing as the one before it. So it did a really, really good job of going back and forth between whose point of view you were reading from. So yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed my little reading vlog / review of Verity. I will be reading more Colleen Hoover books, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how much I like her books that are not in this particular genre, because while it was a thriller romance, she does usually just do romance. So I'm excited. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.